Now, let's get behind the headlines. Are you looking for a job by any chance? Or perhaps you're looking to hire your next star employee? I am available. The next guest has promised that his firm can find the perfect person for every job. Recruitment specialist, the Chemistry Group, uses technology to collect behavioural data, which it says will accurately predict someone's potential in the workplace. How do their methods actually work, is the question. Roger Philby is joining us now in the studio. He's founder and CEO of the Chemistry Group. How does it work? What's the premise?
Well, the premise is that today, when organisations are hiring, they're using all of the wrong data to predict whether that person is going to be a great employee for them.
Right.
And the problem for that isn't just that organisations are having their productivity held back. The real problem is that human beings aren't releasing their full potential. We can see that because people at work are still reporting disengagement or total disengagement from their employer.
OK, so give me just a couple of examples of a couple of the things, the criteria that are being used now, and what sort of criteria you might use instead. And then we'll get on to the rather more complicated fact is they have to fit into an existing team.
They
right?
do, yeah. So I'll give you two, which I think are the most interesting because they're fundamental. So in all of our analysis, and we've worked in 132 countries in the world for some of the largest organisations in the world, and in all of our analysis, previous experience has been the least reliable predictor of future performance. So when we've looked at their high-performing people and what they've categorised as their low-performing people, the differences between the two are not connected to what they've done before. So that's the first one. So your CV is not a reliable predictor of your future performance. Right. Guess what the second one is? The second one is academic achievement. So the second least reliable predictor of future performance is academic achievement. So we have two key sort of foundation stones that the recruitment industry is built on, which is what have you done before, your CV, and which school did you go to? The data suggests and tells us that those are not reliable predictors of future performance.
Give me an example of a couple that might be.
Well, unfortunately, I'm going to give you a classic consulting answer, which is the issue is it's contextual, and that's the problem with, or the challenge with human behaviour and predicting it, is behaviour is contextual. So to say in a sales role that you need to be extrovert because you need to build relationships misses the context of that sales role. So we might look at that and go, that's an interesting data point. But actually, if I give you an example for one organisation, what we found was that, amongst other things, their highest performing salespeople were actually introverts. So whilst they were interviewing, looking for dynamism in the interview and sort of extrovert traits, we actually found when you looked at the data, their salespeople were introverts. Now, there was a bunch of other stuff that made them high-performing.
Right, but the point is it's easy to look at somebody's CV and look at their academic results, isn't it? And what you're describing is more difficult to get out of them, or is it?
No, it's not. Actually, it's easier to get out of them, and because you can do it via your mobile device, it means that more people can access it. So if you look at our
psychometric testing, is that what it is?
It is, but it's customised. I think the challenge with psychometric testing is it's standardised and average, and what we know about human beings is we're all different, we're very jagged. And so what chemistry tries to get to is what does great look like for an organisation, and let's determine it in the things that really matter. So I can think of one large restaurant chain that we do work with, and the lovely story of a girl who had been applying to this restaurant chain for 18 months, and she was getting rejected. And she was getting rejected because she had no previous restaurant experience. And the tools go in, and what we proved is it doesn't matter.
Right.
So if you measure the things that matter, all of a sudden, that girl gets the job at 17 years old that will put money in her pocket and give her opportunity and self-esteem that she didn't have before. And so if we can get over, using a CV is really, really unreliable. About 25% accurate if you just interview someone on their CV.
It sounds like we need to spend more time together. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.